Welcome in, everyone. I am filming this on the morning of May 18, 2026, and we have another shocking, blatant sneak attack carried out by the Iranian regime for the second day in a row. Despite the fact that we are being lied to and told we are in a ceasefire, the attacks are currently underway. A U.S. drone has also been confirmed shot down, and President Trump has posted several posts on his platform with strong indications, including high-level national security team meetings, that something massive could be coming down the pike. So we are going to break down every single detail of this escalating disaster. Before we do, listen, I am not here to hold your hand or give you soft academic advice. I am here to tell you the raw truth about what this means for your money. Because while you are busy scrolling through social media, the geopolitical situation is actively threatening your retirement accounts. So this report comes directly from Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabian Ministry of Defense announced that 3 drones entered their airspace crossing over from Iraq and were successfully intercepted. Per the official release, the Ministry of Defense reserves the right to respond at the appropriate time and place, similar to how the UAE was also attacked over the weekend, kind of in a weird direction, not a straight shot. These drones came in through Iraq down into northern Saudi Arabia and were intercepted and shot down by Saudi air defenses. There are only 2 logical explanations here. Either they were fired directly from Iran, traveled through Iraqi airspace, and then came down into Saudi Arabia, or they were fired by Iranian-backed militias inside of Iraq directly into Saudi territory. Either way, the drones were intercepted, but it goes to show the attacks are absolutely not stopping. In a short 24 to 36-hour period of time, we have now had 2 more countries, Saudi Arabia and the UAE, both be attacked. In the UAE, they targeted a nuclear facility and scored a direct hit on the facility, which is incredibly, dangerously reckless. So this situation, we now find ourselves in a place where the Iranians and the Iranian-backed militias, they do not think there are any real consequences for their actions. And I have been warning about this for weeks. If you let them continue to shoot at things, bomb ships, take ships hostage, launch drones, launch missiles during a fake ceasefire, and nobody does anything in return, well, they are just going to keep doing it. It is exactly like dealing with a schoolyard bully. At some point, you have to put the bully in his place and let him know that there are severe, immediate consequences for his conduct. It is also worth noting, very importantly, we now have confirmation that Saudi Arabia did carry out airstrikes in Iran and against Iranian-backed militias inside Iraq during the heat of the war. So Saudi Arabia is not just taking missiles and drones at the height of the war, they are continuing to be attacked right now, and they also got in on the fighting. Now this is absolutely insane. Earlier tonight, a U.S. drone, this is from yesterday, late last night, a U.S. drone was shot down by Iranian-backed forces over Yemen. You can see in this video right here, that is the twisted, burned wreckage of a U.S. drone shot down by Iranian-backed forces in Yemen, where the Houthis are operating. Now, we have lost several drones. This is another look at the wreckage of a drone shot down over Marib province. You can see right there, it is an American asset shot down. We lost several drones, at least a dozen, maybe a dozen and a half or so drones over Iran at the peak of the fighting. Now we are learning that we have also lost a drone over Yemen, shot down by Iranian-backed forces, and then here, according to CNN, citing a source with knowledge on the matter, U.S. President Donald Trump met with his national security team on Iran over the weekend, but plans are still set for a Tuesday meeting as well. So, the United States National Security Council, National Security Team, President Donald Trump, continuing to hold intense meetings to discuss next steps in the Iran war. And as we talked about before, a lot of signs, a lot of data points indicate the next steps in the Iran war will be a direct return to fighting, a direct return to action inside Iran. So something definitely to keep an eye out for. And on that point, Israel is preparing for resumption of military operations in Iran, believing Trump will decide to restart strikes over stalled negotiations. Now, what data points can we look at that indicate strikes are likely going to come? We continue to move aircraft, air defense systems, more naval assets. There have been many reports of the deployments of special operations forces. We know the Ghost Ship. Everyone's favorite topic, the MV Ocean Trader, is in the Indian Ocean. That is a ship, of course, that is designed and has insane hidden capabilities. But it is designed to carry Tier 1 operators where they need to go. We last saw it for the Venezuela op. It disappeared. No one knew where it was. Now it has resurfaced. Last, I believe 10 days ago, it was at Diego Garcia. So again, if you look at what is in the movements of troops and equipment and gear and planes, all signs do point to this turning back on. And then right here says, according to Reuters, citing a Pakistani source, Iran shared a revised response to the U.S. proposal via Pakistani mediators. Sorry, per the Pakistani source, we do not have much time, adding that both sides continue to shift left or right on key issues, making it challenging to find convergence on key issues such as the nuclear enrichment and the reopening of the strait. President Trump met with his national security team over the weekend to move forward on Iran and will meet Tuesday with military options still on the table. So right now, Pakistan is, I guess, trying to scramble a deal together. That deal is almost certainly going to go absolutely nowhere. And then Trump right here saying the Iranians scream all the time. They are dying to sign a deal, but then they send papers that have nothing to do with what we agreed on. I say, are you people crazy? So again, negotiations are stalling out. They are failing. They are not going well. And then right here, Marco Rubio quoted as saying the reason why Project Freedom, of course, was the operation to open the Strait of Hormuz, stopped was at the request of Pakistan. The Pakistanis said, if you stop Project Freedom, we think we can get a deal done. So we went ahead and agreed to stop. I personally think that is all insane. We should not have stopped. There should have been no ceasefire Operation Freedom. We should have opened the Strait of Hormuz. Now, that is not easy. It is not easy to do. The Iranians still retain significant missile and drone capabilities. They have got their fast attack boats in the Strait of Hormuz. They have got their mines as well. But all we have done in this ceasefire and by dialing everything back is allowing Iran to rebuild its strengths. And quite frankly, I think that is a major strategic problem. Now, on that note, on the blockade, it says according to a release from U.S. Central Command, since the start of the U.S. blockade of vessels traveling to and from Iranian ports, the U.S. has redirected 81 vessels and subjected 4 to disabling fire to ensure compliance with given directives. So the blockade this is different than Project Freedom. This is simply the blockade of the entrance and exit. A total of 81 vessels have been turned around and 4 have been shot up. And then right here, President Trump with a slurry of posts saying for Iran, the clock is ticking and they better get moving fast or there will not be anything left of them. Time is of the essence. Again, Trump has said stuff like this many, many times, but the fact of the matter is it is not followed through. At some point, you are going to have to follow through so that they know you mean business. And then right here, also sharing a map of Iran, making it look like it is being invaded from all sides. By the U.S., Iran does believe a ground invasion is coming. That is why they are trying to train the public to fight a ground invasion. And then lastly, right here, President Trump posting an AI photo of an American drone blowing up Iran's fast attack ships. So as of me making this video on May 18, 2026, we now know Saudi Arabia has been bombed, has been struck. The attacks on all sides continue to roar, certainly coming from the Iranian side. We know the UAE, Saudi Arabia have been hit. Now, we know a U.S. drone has been shot down. Look, when I was 22, I was working a soul-crushing corporate finance job, making $45,000 a year. I remember looking at my bank account, seeing exactly $1,245 left after paying rent, and realizing the mainstream financial advice was a complete lie. They tell you to save your pennies. Skip your daily lattes and put your money into complex, opaque investments managed by elite institutions. I bought into that nonsense, invested in a sketchy yield fund, and watched them freeze redemptions when things went south. I could not get my own cash out to pay for a broken car transmission. I had to drive a beat-up 2006 Honda Civic with a grinding gear for a whole year, and I could not even afford to buy a proper couch for my apartment. I slept and ate on a literal lawn chair in my living room for 12 months. That was my turning point. That was when I realized Wall Street exists to serve Wall Street, not you. I stopped listening to the corporate suits, I liquidated that garbage, and I took control of my own capital. I focused on high-income skills, maximized my savings rate to over 60%, and poured every single dollar into transparent liquid index funds like VU, plus elite dividend growth rocks like SAG, and aggressive growth vehicles like VUG, no hidden models, no locked-out redemptions, no corporate lies. Today, at 27 years old, my net worth has officially crossed $620,000. And I did it by rejecting the exact same opaque garbage products that the elites are trying to trap you with right now. You need to be in hard assets in companies that control the energy infrastructure, because when these regimes start lobbing missiles, energy prices spike, and your cash just loses value in real time. If you are holding cash while these drones are flying, you are effectively paying a tax to the incompetence of global leadership. I will continue to monitor the situation. As always, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you all later today with more updates.